77-year-old Maureen Griffiths for half a century. But in December last year, Maureen, who has severe arthritis, fell victim to a cynical scam. Her neighbour's CCTV footage captured a white builder's van driving past. One of its occupants then paid Maureen a visit.
I was watching the TV and I must have fell asleep. And I heard the bell ringing. And then I could hear the window knocking. I thought, there must be somebody who knew me. So I went to the door and I saw a white helmet. I thought he was a workman. So I opened the door because I trust workmen. Well, you do, don't you?
The man told Maureen he'd come to sort out flooding in her back garden.
I said, we don't have any floods. He said, well, I'm only doing what my gaffer told me. So I said, OK.
Persuaded by his claims, Maureen let the man in. But further down the road, his accomplices were waiting to make their move. Maureen locked her front door, but when the man made an excuse to open it again, her suspicions were aroused.
I said, where are you going now? And he must have opened the door. He said, I'm letting the cat or the dog out. I said, I haven't got a cat or a dog.
As the workman led Maureen out of the house and into the back garden, she began to feel increasingly uneasy.
I just didn't like him. I thought, there's something not right about him. I couldn't put my finger on it.
With Maureen distracted, the man's accomplices let themselves into the house and ransacked the front room.
And I could hear a noise in there and voices. I thought, well, that's not next door.
The three intruders struck lucky and made their escape with a large amount of cash.
Come on.
I rushed in, as I must have heard. They disappeared. I didn't know who was in there. All I could see was on the floor. Everything was tipped up. And I thought, oh, my God. And he came in. I said, look at the mess. He said, it was like this when I came. I said, no, it wasn't. I said, I don't leave a mess like that.
In just a few minutes, the gang had stolen £18,000 of her life savings. As the fake workman walked away, Maureen realised she'd been the victim of a cruel distraction burglary.
I received a phone call from Mum's neighbour. Said she'd been robbed by 4 men. I felt sick, literally sick, and just scared that she'd been hurt. I took Mum's life savings. She's got grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and I'm sure she'd like to give them a little bit of spending money for things. But now she's got nothing. It's all gone. They took it all.
This incident has obviously had a long-term effect on our victim. She's been financially, emotionally and mentally upset by what's gone on. It's really important for me that we catch the offenders in this case quickly to prevent other members of the public becoming victims.
Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't expect anybody's going to rob you. And that's the last thing that enters my head.
For Maureen, it has been a traumatic and life-changing experience.
Since this has happened, she locks the door. Even when I arrive, she puts the lock on, the chain on. She's always looking out the window at different cars. She wants to know who the people are in the area. Anyone walking past, oh, I don't know them. She's just so nervous. It's sad.
I don't trust anybody anymore. Can't pay, does it?
Well, Detective Sergeant Phil Poole is with us. This has been devastating for Maureen. She's lost her life savings.
Yeah, this crime's had a devastating impact on Maureen. It's left her having her trust in people around her shattered.
And the CCTV, you've got caught these men leaving her home. What descriptions do you have of them?
We're looking for 4 white males from what we believe is the Irish traveller community. The first male is described as a builder. He was seen wearing a hard hat, a high-visibility jacket and carrying a clipboard. The second male is described as wearing a distinctive brown flat cap and a hunting-style jacket. He was walking with a pronounced limp. The third male is described 50 to 60 years of age, 6 foot tall, with a very distinctive cream hat on. And the fourth male is described as being 40 years of age, 5'7" tall, and also wearing a distinctive cream bobble hat.
And Phil, they also had a distinctive van, didn't they?
Yeah, we're appealing for anybody that's got a description of this, recognises this van. It's a white Ford Transit Panel Connect van. It's got distinctive roof bars and distinctive ladders on the top at the time of the offence, and also has distinctive blacked out windows. Anybody that can put those 4 descriptions and that van together is of interest to us.
And you don't think these men are local, do you?
No, we think because they're from the Irish traveller community that they'll have a footprint all over the UK. So as I said, anybody that can put those descriptions and that van together, we'd like to hear from them.
Thanks, Phil. And you heard him. If you've got any information